But no, I figured we can go into the origin of the name of this podcast.
Yeah, so too bad we didn't get into cars.
I remember we were driving around at some point,
As we do.
and Nick was talking about some career or something with careers or jobs or whatever.
I do that.
And I says to him, I was like, "Man, it's too bad you didn't get into cars because you literally could have called yourself Nick Scarpinato."
I could go in I could do Scarpinato or Carpinato. And I think I ended up a little bit luckier. I mean, but Kapushka cars also works.
Yeah. No, because it was funny because immediately after I said that, you were like, "Well, it's too bad you didn't get the cars because you could have been called Kapushka Cars." And I was like, "Dog, that's the name of the podcast."
Yeah, it was kind of just this. I don't even know if we had been talking about making a podcast before that. I think it might have just been we came up with the nicknames, and then I mean, our brains kind of work like I'm always thinking about creative decisions in like a business sense, like how can you how can we turn this into something that we can create and like put out there. And immediately I was like, oh yeah, podcasts. Too bad we didn't get into cars podcast. And that was, I don't even know how long ago that was. It must have been years now. Like it might have been pre-pandemic. Oh God. I mean, does it? Yeah. So we don't know. We don't know when that happened.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I know it's a really silly name, but yeah, neither of us really care about cars.
No, I didn't have anyone in my family that was super into cars either. Like I didn't have, I literally no reason to ever think about cars other than they're not even cars. I played with tech decks when I was a kid.
I mean, I had some Hot Wheels. I definitely had like the carpet. Everyone had the carpet, the Hot Wheels carpet.
Hot Wheels carpet.
Yeah, it was like a top-down view of like a town with all the roads and the buildings.
Well, okay. I every daycare in the history of daycares, which I know all about. I actually studied daycareology in college. Yeah, a lot more kids than I anticipated. That's why I switched majors to music. Funny enough. I'm so sorry. I'm not a stand-up. Neither of us are comedians. So this is gonna be very interesting. I know. Typically, I mean, there are serious podcasts out there with people that aren't comedians also, but I don't know if this is a serious podcast. I think
absolutely not.
Absolutely, this is just for giggles.
We have a podcast called We Don't Like Cars, but all we've been talking about is cars so far.
Yeah, well, we got to get it out of the way early.
Our logo is portrayed over here by a 1976 Honda Civic
that we found at Target today. Because I like the idea of like this. It's the one thing that we're not going to talk about the entire, 45 minutes or hour, however long it is. But we got to have a car on the table, and we're going to get a new table eventually, and new chairs, and
perhaps even different cars. At some point,
perhaps even different cars. I think that's, because the 76 Honda Civic is only gonna last us so long, dude. By the time that we're done, like finally recording this podcast, we're gonna know a lot more about cars than we started. I'm gonna be able to recognize like a Honda Civic. I'm gonna know that tomorrow. Like I see a 76.
Yeah, we already know what Civics look like. So.
Yeah, so we're hoping to learn more. No free clout, so we're not gonna have any cars with big logos on them unless people want to pay money to have us to have them on the podcast. Because we're not doing this for fun, okay? We're doing this to get stinking rich. I wanna be able to Scrooge McDuck into a pond of gold coins.
I better be able to buy every 1976 Honda Civic on the planet.
I just want to be able to buy one 1976 Honda Civic. Like that's all I want.
I want it to be like the last scene of Mr. Deeds, where Deeds buys everyone. Whatever car that is. I don't know what car it was because I never got into cars. But yeah, the last scene is just he buys everyone on the block these fancy ass cars, and I want that, but for Civics. I'm gonna buy everyone I know a Civic.
Everyone's gonna want a 1976 beat up Honda Civic because they don't sell them new anymore. Like they don't manufacture this car anymore. So it's got
you gotta buy everyone that has like 150,000 miles on it or something.
Like it's gonna break down going out of the lot. Like it's not gonna last more than a day, optimistically.